episode of the Pez and Pork Show. I am joined with the St. Nicholas Nurse Haldane. Welcome back again as our special guest. And of course, our one and only Dr. Pez has joined us with Johnny in the booth. Glad to have you both here.
You all right, mate?
I'm doing well. But wait a minute, I hear something. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Fraud alert, fraud alert, fraud alert. I have the official fraud alert of the week. Let me get it out. I'm reading it. Ken Walker Jr. is a fraud and will not re-sign a second contract with the Seahawks. Charbonnet is aging like fine wine and the future running back of the Seahawks. 134 yards, 2 touchdowns. When have we seen Ken Walker Jr. do anything like that? Martin, tell me this fraud alert is a lie.
Well, I watched the highlights this morning actually before the show because, well, it's the Pez and Pork. The Seahawks always get talked about, so I thought I better get some homework done. And to be fair,
that is written in Pez's contract. We have to start every show off with some puddle chick.
Well, you know what, Charbonnet, his start line, it's not just his start line, even just, like the eye test when you're watching him run, he did look good in that last game. But see, for me, Ken Walker's just got that, he's got that X factor. Charbonnet just doesn't have that X factor. Like, Ken can just, for me, it's like Zay Flowers or the Ravens. He can just make something happen out of nothing. Charbonnet doesn't have that, but I think Ken Walker does have that.
All right, what say you, Doc?
A really inconvenient time. My washing machine's spinning, so I'm sorry if you can hear that in the background. But it should be done in a minute. But Ken has done that. He did it against the Lions. Now, the issue is, I understand where you're coming from. This argument with my mates. What you saw from Zach Charbonnet last night is what we all thought we were getting with him coming out of college. That is vintage Zach Charbonnet. But for me, I think it's coincidental. Even if Ken was playing last night, I think Ken would have gone off well. Because these last couple of games, we've slowly started getting the run game going. Like last week against the Jets was probably our best actual running ground game we had. Like we were getting chunk yards on the ground, churning away. Now, right. Zach looked amazing. And for me, I'm not bothered. I love Ken. And Martin said it perfectly. Ken Walker is the better player. But if we can get Zach playing to the level he played at college, I ain't complaining because that's what we need. We need the run game to complement the pass game because let's face it, we spoke about it last week, Geno throwing them stupid interceptions. We're now coming up against the Packers and the Vikings, what are crucial games, and we can't afford Geno to be throwing it all over the field constantly. We need that run game going. So we're going to get into it later in the show with Charbonnet, but we don't know. Knee and calf with a running back, you don't know how bad that is. Like he practiced, Ken practiced in the week and then didn't practice. So that's not a good sign.
No.
So the thing for me, take away Zach Charbonnet because he's shown that he can do it. He showed it earlier in the year. He could do it when Ken wasn't playing. It's the people behind him what I was most impressed with. That Kenny McIntosh. I know not really fantasy relevant unless you're in a really deep league, but he looked like he had juice and burst ready to go. So it was quite confident to see. Now, seeing as you called it a fraud, I see where you're coming from. At the end of the day, Ken hasn't put a bad year up. I did look. And on the ground, he's had four games. You'd say, what would you class a good week for a running back on the ground? 60 plus?
I would say 80 plus because you're thinking at least 5 yards a carry, right?
Yeah, okay.
It depends. I think it's situational as well. Like if he's getting if he's getting trusted with those to get the first down and he's getting the first down, it really doesn't matter how many yards he gets for it. His job's to get the first down, you know what I mean? So I think it is a bit situational as well.
Yeah, so like if you go off Sleeper on their like metrics, he's had 4 really good games. And then he's had his last 3 games before he didn't play were average games on the ground. But Ken's took a totally different role this year. And like my mates like to grill me because I bang on about him so much because I like him a lot. But you just I'm looking at Sleeper now, you look at his metrics and you look at all the previous years, his receiving work has been off the chart this year. Like he's been, and that's where it's kind of like people who don't watch us week in, week out, they don't understand the O-line is one of the worst O-lines in the league. And Ken's been heavily utilised a lot. So he's just been running into brick walls. And do you know what? You make a good point, though, because people have said that Ken kind of lost trust with the O-line and started kind of doing things off script, a bit like a Saquon Barkley. Always just trying to make the big run happen instead of just trusting his lanes. What did Zach Charbonnet do yesterday? He didn't really try anything fancy. He just hit his gap and went, and he broke it. So I was really impressed. So I wouldn't say it's a fraud, but I just think it's great going forward.
I think the thing with Ken, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Pez, the thing that works against him for me is that he does seem to fight injuries, eh? Like that is the only thing, and that can ruin any player. Doesn't matter how good you are. Like he needs to find a way to like stay on the pitch. You know what I mean? That's the other thing I would say about that's like the only downside for me really with him is if he can stay fit, because that affects his like I know like we're saying, he has ups and downs with his form a wee bit this year, but that's what happens when you get injured as well. Eh? It affects your form. Eh?
So. You are right, and obviously you missed them 2 games. But if you take the 2 games, week 2 and 3 out, that 5-game stretch, he was a top 15 RB. And you got to think how you've had Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, these big hitters putting up monster points, and then the Bills, you can just scratch that off. That was a horrendous game, and then the Rams, he was RB 20, but he still had 83 yards rushing. So. It is very subjective. I think the injuries, you are right. And it's unfortunate because I feel like I said, watching the team as the weeks go on, I feel like if Ken was playing, he would have had that game. And Zach's just benefited it. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, I love the player, but it's just a team over any player. So if Zach keeps on doing that, I really don't give a fuck. If we get to the playoffs and we start beating teams we were written off to beat, then I really couldn't care who's there.
I think you will make I actually think you will make the playoffs now. To be honest, I think you will.
I'll get a bit
playoffs. It's almost guaranteed at this point, unless they completely collapse.
We've got the Bears. There was a moment where you thought the Bears defense might cause us issues, but I think they're going to do what the Jets have done, and their defense is going to take a step back now. Eberflus is gone. You saw it last night. The Niners just absolutely dog walked them all over the fucking field. Like they came out in the second half a lot better, but it was dead and buried by that point. Like so, you're already seen the regression on the defense because Eberflus, it's his defense, and then the offense stalled. So I'm confident in that game. The Rams is just going to be a slugfest. It always is. It really doesn't matter if they were 1-16. We'd still. It'd be wild.
He's an awesome coach. You got to hand it to him.
It's these next 2 games. They're both at home, what I like, but it's weird because I think we're 5-1 on the road, and we're 3, something like 5-1 on the road and 3-4 at home or something. If my maths is mathing.
Yeah, I think that's right. 5-1.
Is that right? I just quickly get it up here.
8-5. They're 8-5, I believe.
So we're 5-1 away, and we're 3-4 at home. Like we have got a home record up, but I'm confident with the way we're trending that we've got the Packers and Vikings at home. The Packers is the hardest game for me. Like that team, it's a case of Jordan loves slinging it. So our defense could have a field day with him. But if our offense can't keep up with their offense, we might end up losing that because of that. And the Vikings, I'm very confident we're going to destroy Sam Darnold with the way this defense. He doesn't play well away from home. He doesn't play that well away from home. If I'm right, no, saying that it's not that bad.
They're 10-2. He's only got one loss, 2 losses on the road either way. So I mean, that's still pretty good. I think
both his losses are away, but I'm confident like the way we're going. If we get, because like the Falcons yesterday, just didn't get to Sam Darnold. He's one of them quarterbacks. You get to him early, you shake him up, and he gets a bit jittery. So it's this next game, it's this Packers game. But at the end of the day, it's 2 tests. If we can't beat them, then we're not ready to be there. We'll get destroyed by the Eagles and the Lions. So,
well, I like to point out that my fraud alert from last week, the Ravens did not lose. Congrats on the Ravens. And I would also like to point out that my Cowboys also did not lose. So Martin and I had a good weekend. Neither of our team lost. And
I thought you were going to go with the Falcons and Kirk Cousins.
Oh, yeah, well, that's a further discussion. I'm going to discuss that in a little bit here. I would say the Giants put up good effort on the defensive side. You know, I would be if I was in the NFC East, Eagles or not, I would be concerned about the Giants team next year. They get a decent quarterback, they're going to have a really good team. They got the wide receiver. They got Tyrone Tracy that's looking, like he can do the job. They got a solid defense, So the Giants could be something worth watching next year. So, Johnny, don't despair. You might get your quarterback in the draft after all. Who knows?
Did you want to say something about the Seahawks, Martin? Just so you put
it was just while you were actually talking about them, and I was actually that defense. That defense is now you're beginning to see it now, and see the great thing about this defense, and you're beginning to see it is that it's not just one of these defenses that's great on paper, right? It's making game-changing plays. It's getting picks. Like the Cardinals got lucky. They punched the ball out on corner and they recovered it. You know what I mean? That was another big play by his defense. You speak to like this. Everyone talks about like the Jets defense, and you talk to any big Jets fan, it annoys them how it's been for the last 2 years. It's been great on paper, but it's never made game-changing plays. What you want is this kind of defense the Seahawks have. There might be better ones on paper than it, but I'm telling you right now, that's going to be game-changing for them because they're getting interceptions, they're forcing fumbles, they're doing everything, and it's going to help the offense so much having the defense making those kind of plays.
Does it upset you because it reminds you of last year?
Oh, mate, please.
The way he's utilising, he's got his group now. The way he's utilising Kobe Bryant. I loved him ever since we drafted him because he played against Source, so he never really got the love, but he won the Biletnikoff Trophy for corners when he was coming out in the senior year. And I've always liked him. I've always just something about him, and he's just been like in this defense. Mike McDonald's just got him unlocked. That pick was vintage, like stuff Kyle Hamilton was doing last year. The stuff he's doing with Witherspoon and Kobe Bryant and that, and it's like you're starting to see his vision come true because you're starting to see comparisons. You're starting to see Ravens fans going, it just kills me watching that defense play because that's what they had last year.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not just one of these like, okay, we stop the run or like you can't pass on us. We have one guy that just takes a wide receiver out the game. No, this is like entertaining defense. This is guys making plays. This is right. You're about to score a touchdown. No, you're not. We just intercepted you and we ran 50 yards down the field. You know what I mean? It's great for everyone. It's great. It's just it's like an offensive defense is what it is. It's I miss it so much. I
can feel the tears. I can feel the internal tears. Love it.
All right. Well, enough of that, of the Seahawks. This is not called the Puddle Chick Show. Let's talk Seahawks.
Not yet. We'll get it there eventually.
Yeah.
We'll get Johnny to commission it.
No need to stress. We have the couch for you with Dr. Pez.
Oh my, Dr. Pez, playoff season is coming. And I have not felt so much desperation in my life. I don't know what to do. I am glad that Nurse Martin is here to hold my hand through this difficult time. And I get some advice from the true fantasy expert, Dr. Pez. Dr. Pez, my question is this. Are anyone on the Bears or the Jets or the Jacksonville Jaguars worth starting and relying on in the playoffs?
The Jags, there's one guy, he's got...
Brian Thomas Jr., is he worth starting?
Well, in my normal league, not my own, I had him on the bench and I was like, oh, great decision. He's doing absolutely nothing. Next minute, my phone flashes up, 21 yards, 31 yards. His script is simple. Don't watch him in the first half. Ignore he's on your team. In the third quarter, fourth quarter, when the team's dead and buried and the other team's kind of chilling out, then let him get fucking about 100 yards in the fourth quarter, and then you'll PPR your way into a nice little points. I'd say still play Brian Thomas Jr. Like, they've got the Jets next week, but you can throw on them. Then they've got the Raiders, and then they've got if you get to the final, they've got the Titans. Even though fantasy makes them look like the bad defenses, they're all teams who are kind of probably checking out by this point. So he's probably a guy you'd keep on going. Jets, I'd still trust, like, look at yesterday, I'd still trust your Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson's. Breece Hall's a question, but I'll save him for later because we've got a section where we're going to specifically talk about the running backs in that team. I think you still play your Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson because Aaron Rodgers is the only one out of them shite teams who isn't going to give up because he's too arrogant just to lie down and take it. So that team's still probably going to keep on fighting. And who else did you say?
The Bears. Can I trust anyone on the Bears?
Well, look at yesterday. Like, Keenan Allen and bloody DJ Moore are going off like silly, and then Adunze 2 touchdowns. Fucking, it's like you can't win with them. Who have they got? Let's have a look at the running. They've got the Vikings, the Lions, the Seahawks, the Packers. Personally, I don't see them winning a single one of them games because all 4 of them defenses, I think, he might have a good time against the Lions, but other than that, I wouldn't even bother. Especially if you've got other players to play, put them Bears on your bench. I think, unless you desperately need to play him.
No Swift.
I won't bother. They're still going to scrap, so you potentially will get points. But it's like you don't want to be having the question of which Bear's going to go off this week in the playoffs. You need your team. You need a bit of security in the playoffs. You don't want to be like, oh, DJ Moore's my wide receiver 2. And it's like, I'll be shitting myself every single week. So, yeah, if you can help it, I won't play your Bears. No.
I think for the Jaguars, I can comment on that because I've got, in Ottnable specifically, I've got 2 of their better ones. Well, should have been on paper. So, Travis Etienne, I just don't play anymore. He's been sat on my bench for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I'm in the playoffs, and unless I get injuries, I'm not going to play him. The tight end Ingram, I just play him. Like in Orkney scoring, he does all right. So in Orkney, you can just slot him in. You can still play him. What was the other team? The Bears. Obviously, I did. I traded for DJ Moore, and he's been good since I traded for him the last 2 weeks. And then obviously this week, just nothing. But against the Vikings, you can't run on them. They've got actually quite a good run defense. So see the wide receivers, even though it's a good defense, you have to throw on them because the run defense is so good. So for that matchup with the Vikings, I would say you can play Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. I mean, Adunze, I think that was more like, I wouldn't be relying on Adunze every week, if I'm being honest. I'd much rather have DJ Moore or Keenan Allen.
So Thank you for the strong advice, Dr. Pez, but I need a gentle nurse's hand on my next question. Nurse Martin, I'm sitting here looking at all my 49ers. All 5 of them, all 5 running backs are on the IR somehow. Debo, I don't know, is he even playing anymore? Ayuk, IR. We got Jennings. We got pear-shaped playing a rookie wide receiver. Are the 49ers, are any of those guys the dominant offensive team in the last 2 or 3 years? Any of these guys worth playing? What about the Cardinals with Connor and Harrison? Can I trust them in the playoffs?
Let's just say the ones I would be happy to play. Like, let's just, because obviously now you can't really trade for anyone. Whatever's on the waiver wire is going to be it's not, you know what I mean? You're not going to get any really game changers now unless injuries happen. So if Purdy's your QB, you're going to play him. You're not going to, let's just say your backup's like a Will Levis or whatever. You're going to just play Purdy all the time.
Purdy or Williams? Jalen Williams or Purdy? Who you starting? Jaden Daniels or Purdy?
Oh, Jaden Daniels, I would play over Purdy. I suppose because where Daniels is drafted, you might have both of them. Yeah, I would play Daniels. But the other one is Jennings. Like, people treat him as like, should I play him this week? Jennings, I think you should be playing every week. I think he's like the main guy there now in that passing game. So Jennings, you shouldn't really be thinking about. You should just play him. That rookie running back, he's just he could be the worst running back in the league. His volume alone means you have to play him. So you're going to play him as well. Debo, I know you drafted him pretty high and all the rest of it, but if you cannot play him, I would try and not play him. So we're talking about the Bears. I'd rather play DJ Moore over Debo right now.
Oh wow, how times have changed.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
I like bold statements like that.
I'd play Calvin Ridley. I would play Calvin Ridley. Yeah, I'd play Calvin Ridley over Debo right now.
Oh,
just because he's got and Ridley's been average the last 2 weeks, to put it nicely, but he's just got a better running and stuff. So yeah, that's where if you can bench Debo for a decent player, I would. And obviously Kittle, you're playing Kittle. You shove him in and enjoy.
Okay.
Do you not think just on that quickly? Do you not think Debo now, because Guerrero went to the locker room, so I don't know what's wrong with him. So they're going to be left with Patrick Taylor Jr., Keyshawn Vaughn, and the one I think is the most interesting out of all of them. They picked up that Abanikanda.
Aye, from the Jets. That's who I was going to say. He would be the guy. Yeah, he'd be the guy that I'd be interested.
Because he has some juice, doesn't he?
He's quite a similar size to Guerrero as well. I think they're quite similar, like the way they're built. I think
With me saying that though, do you not think Debo's going to go back? Obviously, injuries dependent. Do you not think he's going to go back to what he did a couple of years ago and just become the gadget man?
I think because we're in the playoffs now, you'd have to really see it before you did it. See if I've got a bye week, I'm thinking great, because you can just see what Debo does. If Debo ends up doing that, great. I'll play him. I would maybe play him, yeah. But see if you're in the playoffs now and you don't have a bye, that could just lose you. You could be out. You have to wait and see what happens. Like, if you want to gamble on that, you've got bigger balls than me, I'm telling you now.
Well, I know our good friend Gary Groovy, which has been on this show before, would love us to continue talking about his Niners. I'm guessing Kittle is a start every week. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
So what about the Cardinals? Are we feeling confident in Harrison or anyone on the Cardinals offense? Connor, is he still, churning it out in the last 2-3 weeks of the season, or is his injury starting to catch up?
Oh, Connor, you're playing him. He's just in. Harrison is one of these ones where I've got him in, is it 2 weeks I've got him, and it's just like, see where you drafted him, it makes it so hard not to play him. And he does, unlike, the difference is between him and Debo is that Debo's just shown absolutely nothing. Harrison does have, Harrison could win you your knockout game because he does have big spike weeks. Which actually, this ties into mine actually, because Pez, this is actually mine. I'll just bring it up now actually. So, see if you're in the playoffs, is it worth having, is it worth taking the gamble to play one, let's just say in your flex, one boom or bust guy in your playoffs? Because I'll tell you why I'm asking this, because this Harrison fits into this. I think actually Harrison is a good play if he's your only boom and bust. If you've got one guy, play him because he could win that matchup alone. Because the guy I've got in Orkney who I am going to ride in the playoffs now is Addison. Now, he can get 5 points 1 week or he can get you 30. And I'm thinking, playing one guy like that in your team, not a whole team of them, just one, I think it's worth it in the playoffs because that one guy can win you a league.
Yeah, I do agree. I think for me personally, I just look at matchup. So it's like here, like you said, with Addison, it's like 16-35, 11-43. Then he's going up against the Bears D. But the beauty about Addison, where I think you've got more security over Harrison, is I look at the Bears and I think they're just going to make sure they shut down Justin Jefferson. Essentially what the Falcons did. Because the Falcons, clearly, they started that game wary of Addison. But then Jefferson started getting free, loose, had his touchdown, and then they reverted back to what a lot of other teams do, shut Jefferson down, and then Addison just went fucking crazy. I think the Bears...
The last 3 weeks, he's been awesome.
Yeah, the Bears, I think, are going to just make sure they shut Justin Jefferson down, while I think Addison's going to have more freedom. With Marvin Harrison, Addison Harrison's a bit of a tongue twister line. It's interesting, right? Because whilst you were talking about him, whilst I was watching the game yesterday, the sideline reporter made an interesting comment about what Mike McDonald said coming out of the half. He said, we're paying a lot of attention to James Conner. We're paying a lot of attention to shutting James Conner down and McBride. We're not that bothered about Harrison because we're just going to match him one-on-one with our best corner, what was Reek Woolen, because, in our opinion, he's not been fully unlocked in this offense yet. That's why you're seeing the all-or-nothing approach of Harrison. So I just had a look at Harrison's thing. So, if I was a Harrison manager in going into the playoffs and say I didn't have the bye, I'd be confident next week. I'd be confident next week against the New England Patriots. I think he'll get enough work to get it going. Carolina Panthers and the Rams. I'd hate to have a situation going into the Rams game if I got to the championship with Harrison. That would freak me out because, like you said, the boom or bust with him. So I think with Addison, you ride him. With Harrison, it's more matchup dependent for me with that team because Kyler's gone into very much... That whole team's gone into very much whoever works, we're just going to ride it. Like in that second half against us, McBride was shutting down all first half. Second half, Kyle was like, right, I need to get back in this game. I'm down a couple of scores. It was McBride, just all second half. Like, if you had him in Orkney, you'd be chuffed to bits because he did fuck all first half and then he did everything the second half. So Harrison's got a bit more bust to him than Addison, I think, personally.
All right. Well, I have enjoyed the Dr. Pez segment for today. I have learned a lot. I'm feeling a lot better thanks to both of you. Now, I have a simple yes or no question. You just say yes or no. What if? What? Yes or no, Dr. Pez? Marvin Harrison Jr. is a future Hall of Famer. Yes or no?
How do you just answer that? That's clickbait. Johnny will fucking have me for this. I'm gonna.
Yes
I'm
or
gonna
no?
say yes. I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah. Yes or no, Nurse Martin? The Seahawks should not have drafted Zach Charbonneau last year. They should have drafted Tuli Tupaluto from the Chargers, defensive tackle.
Yes.
Fair enough. So what if we have a couple of great what if questions for us today? This is a new segment. We're going to see how it goes. So I have a question for you. What if the Seahawks had played Zach Charbonneau as RB1 all season? Would anything change? Seahawks better, Seahawks worse? Nurse Martin, you go first.
I think worse. Like I think maybe the majority. I'm not sure, but I just think Ken Walker's just a better player. He's just it's the eye test. Like he just is. He's the better player, and I know like we're coming off this hot game for Zach, but he's had plenty. Like he's been trusted at the goal line a lot this season and not got it done. So you know what I mean. I think Ken is the guy. That's why and the reason why I said to pick that Chargers boy over him is just because I'm just a lot higher on Ken than I am Zach.
Yeah. All right. Pez, I have a different question for you because we know how you feel already. The Atlanta Falcons, you were calling them out as a fraud earlier. What if the Atlanta Falcons had played Michael Penix earlier? Would anything be different for the Falcons? Would they still be 6-7? I believe that's their record, or something close to that. Would they be worse? Would they be better? What do you think? What if Michael Penix had played all season and not Kirk Cousins?
I don't know if they'd be any better in the sense of where Kirk's let the team down with his silly passes and interceptions and stuff. I feel like you kind of get the same with Penix in a rookie way, just
Right.
making them rookie mistakes. I look at them too, and I just think, even though Penix is younger and can run, he doesn't run that much. So how different are they? Penix might be a bit more safer with the football, whereas Cousins is a bit more loose and free with the interceptions and some of the double coverage he throws. He has no fear because of where he is in his career, whereas Penix might look after the football more. But then some of these games, by looking after the football and not taking that risk, you might not put them points up to win them games what Kirk ended up winning. So I can't see it being any different because for me, the biggest issue with that team's the defense and they're being exposed now. So I don't think it matters who you have at quarterback.
Okay, this question is for both of you. Answer in 60 seconds or less, or you will get the dinger of death.
Buzzer hit.
Here we go. If the Bears and the Commanders had swapped quarterbacks and the Bears drafted Jaden Daniels and the Commanders has Caleb Williams, would we be looking at these players differently, the same? Would we be looking at the teams differently than we do now? Martin, you can go first.
I think whoever was going to be under Eberflus was going to be doomed, is my opinion. I rate him highly as a defensive mind, but as a head coach with a rookie quarterback, I think that's the biggest difference right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Caleb next season has like a Daniels-like season. You know what I mean? So I think whoever went to the Bears was kind of doomed, I'm afraid.
Pez? Sorry, that's the reason why I turned off the video. Y'all don't catch me drinking, but Martin finished early.
I agree with Martin with what he said. Eberflus, I said it about Justin Fields. Eberflus, we spoke about it before. It's like he wants to do it his way, and then when he realizes his way is not working, he then reverts to what helps the quarterback. Jaden Daniels a better thrower of the football, so he may have had more success with them weapons. Like, could you imagine if he had them weapons at the Commanders, how many games he potentially could have won without just having Terry McLaurin? Caleb, I think, still would have been the same. He concerns me, some of the shit he says in his press conferences, like, oh, when I'm further in my career, I probably would have took the safe approach, but I just wanted to win the game for my team. It's like, it doesn't fucking matter, mate. So that arrogance, that arrogance he's got, I don't think would have changed either way. Daniels probably would have took a bit of a hit compared to where he is now. The team suits him. So, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. You just barely missed the dinger of death. Well done to you both. I love it.
Just one thing about Pez. I know like you don't like Caleb and that, but he's like arrogance and that. But do you think somebody like Dan Quinn would control it better and like would knuckle it out of him?
No.
Well, I think Williams on the Commanders would have been awesome. He has Dan Quinn. He has his college QB coach. Right?
Do you know who? Do you know who may have in the Commanders who may have been able to knuckle him down? It would have been a presence like a Bobby Wagner, a veteran of his status. Because when he was at the Seahawks, the offense, they loved him.
Eric Bieniemy, would he be good as an OC for Williams?
No, they start arguing. They clash. Mahomes clash with Bieniemy. What would Caleb do? For me, Caleb just sees this as a free season. He sees it as, he's playing that, I'm just a rookie guy, so I can make these mistakes. But the issue is, them mistakes can stay with you for your career. You might think it's that big, but these players you're playing with who you're hospitalizing by chucking really bad shit balls, because you're like, it's fine, it's a free season, I'm just a rookie. Well, DJ Moore probably don't fucking think that. He's going to be telling everyone else, watch out.
Is that dinger of death. Well done, my friends. The what if.
You just run late. So
of what if. Go ahead, Martin. I'm sorry, I talked over you.
I was saying from now on, we should just run late to make you do that noise.
See how many times we can do it in the show. I'm
going to have it recorded for Johnny to play for me. All right, Johnny, let's go to the rookie watch. Or is it real or is it fantasy? Maybe that's the segment we should do. Is it real or is it fantasy?
So we're getting into a late minute of this show.
Yeah. We've got Jalen McMillan, Isaiah Davis, and of course the fine wine with 49.8 points. I feel like we've talked about Charbonneau quite a bit already. However, if there's something else that needs to be said, feel free. However, let's talk about Jalen McMillan. Pez?
McMillan.
Are we starting him at all? Are we thinking about it?
No.
Martin?
No.
Depends on how deep your league is, I suppose. Like in a 16 teamer, I would play him, but other than that, it's this time of season. It's like you're in the playoffs now. You're gambling a lot to play boys like this now.
Yeah. Isaiah Davis. I'm still trying to figure out what team he's on. I apologize. I'm looking at the uniform, and it looks like the Jaguars or something like that.
Yeah.
Martin, are we thinking about playing him? Yes.
I tell you what, in one of my leagues, I would play him because I'm a bit struggling at running back. I've had injuries and stuff. So if you're in the right situation, you probably will play him.
The thing is with this is in Orkney, because my team was so heavily on bye this week, I didn't realise I'd done it, but I played Breland Allen and Isaiah Davis, and they both came up good. Like, I think Breland Allen, Johnny's got 15.7. I'm sure Breland Allen ended up on 19 and Isaiah Davis ended up on 19.55 and Breland Allen on 17. So I looked at that, I was like, that's great. This is me and Johnny spoke about this last night, and it's basically, I thought, chuck it in there to conversate, because obviously Breesall's got the knee injury. His injury what kept him out, that bad injury, was his knee. Now, they are an absolute dumpster fire, so they're probably going to rush him back for no apparent reason. But if they're smart about it, they just rest him now. They just rest him. Let these young guys play. See what you've got with these two young guys. Let them just go RB1, RB2, plan for the future. The Jets are stupid. They're not going to do that. So in an ideal world of that, they did do that. We just thought, discuss Isaiah Davis or Breland Allen. And
I like Allen. He's the future starter, man.
Davis looked better.
Yeah?
Davis looked better. Davis, I was watching that game on Red Zone. Davis has the burst. He has the pass catching. That's the thing with him. Breland Allen's a bit more of a bulldozer, so he's more of the power back.
Years old. Give him time.
I know, but all-round back, Isaiah Davis looks better, and I think Rodgers going down the stretch would rely on an Isaiah Davis more than he would a Breland Allen.
I think the three of them are quite like, see, Isaiah Davis, Breland Allen, and even Zach Charbonnet, because obviously Ken Walker will be back at some stage. So that's just if when Ken Walker's back, the three of them, they're all kind of like, I think they're in a similar spot if you're playing them. If you've got injuries at running back, you can plug any of these three in. Like I started Jack Charbonnet in one league before Ken Walker was injured, you know. So if you've got injuries, you can play any three of these running backs if you're needing somebody in a pinch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But it comes into the conversation.
Been terrible for me when I've had to play him a few times. You know, he did score me 0.4 points one week, but generally he's getting me close to 10 points every time I played him.
Yeah.
I like Allen.
I think with Zach Charbonnet, if Ken's on the field, you've got to temper expectations.
Yeah.
With the Jets too, if Brees doesn't play anymore, I think you could probably, if you've got one or the other, I think you could probably safely play him. I think coming down the stretch, Rodgers, like we said before, Rodgers is just arrogant. He's not going to want to just roll over and quit. So, and these two are like, well, I'm fighting for a starting job. I'm fighting for a roster. I'm trying to put tape out there for other teams if the Jets cut me. So I think they're both going to go at it. So I feel like they probably could, like last night, put Martin said earlier, boom or bust for the playoffs. I think you could probably ride both of them. And I think they both complement each other.
To be fair, I've just noticed actually on that Isaiah Davis, I'm seeing it here. I didn't realise he had 6 targets. See if you're in a PPR or a half PPR, that Isaiah Davis, if he's getting 6 targets, that is a lot. Like that's very playable.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I like it. I love your advice. I think it's helpful for our Orkney Bowl guys. So, Johnny, what do we got next, buddy? The fantasy draft.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
Can I just say, right, I got done dirty again, right? What I'm watching, I never watched Red Zone, but I was busy with the wee man, had it in the background, and I look up and what do I see? Derek Carr crying over a bloody finger. Oh, who have I got in the fantasy draft? Oh, Derek Carr. Eh? He's done me dirty yet again.
I can't even remember who my quarterback was.
My wee 4-year-old son had got chucked out the window.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. Johnny, let's see the results thus far without, well, you and I still have, you have Dowdle, and I have Ferguson out. I have Sam Darnold. Right.
Sam Darnold, man.
Yeah.
He got something ridiculous, like 40-odd points or something.
Yeah, you know, I had Kenneth Walker. He got hurt. I had Jordan Mason. He got hurt. And then Garondo, he got hurt.
Right, so basically, Pez came last.
Brees Hall, who was out.
What happened to you, right?
You had 3 substitutes.
I had what?
On the
3
draft.
Yeah.
You had Garendo came in.
8.63 for
Garendo
Sam
came in for
Darnold.
Mason. You had Braylon Allen in for Brees Hall. And you had Jackson Smith-Njigba in for Kenneth Walker.
Listen, right, and I questioned this last week, and it was, oh no, if it's a running back, blah, 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 we get to switch them out. This has happened, right? He switched a running back for a bloody wide receiver. It's a farce. I'm getting done dirty here. Everyone is cheating.
Yep.
Oh no, he had a flex.
I would admit, I'm more than happy to go with
He's not getting
Zach
Charbonnet.
if you want.
Yeah,
if you want
let's not let him have Zach Charbonnet.
Shut up, Martin. Shut up.
Beat him.
I will go with the running back. As
No. I've been absolutely buried
told
here.
me he was a flex. So
Carnage in the fantasy draft.
It was a flex.
Martin,
anyway,
that's what you added to the fire. Come on now.
1 minute. Pork, have you made the playoffs in Orkney?
I have not. Man, I can tell you, I'm kicking all your asses in the fantasy draft.
You can win one fantasy. You can't even win basketball fantasy.
Fucking hell. Oh, my daughter told me, Daddy, don't say bad words in the podcast. So she called me out.
Oh.
Yeah, you get them told.
Johnny, are you in your playoffs for Orkney?
No.
Just me and Martin then, yeah. Martin then, yeah.
Well, I do have the power to deduct points for being a prick if you want. I can take a bit. Be careful who you're slagging off, by the way.
Yeah, Johnny does have the ability to do.
I have the power.
Correct.
I am your commissioner, so behave yourself.
I reckon we're not going to clip this one then and send it into the Orkney chat so everyone can see the commissioner's ready to cheat his way.
Oh, I know my team is getting relegated. I'm only talking about your team.
Yeah, corruption. That's what it is. Trying to hold me back.
Did you manage to get a bye, Pez?
Can I still get one?
I think this is Martin's way of talking shit. Oh, by the way, Pez, you made the playoffs. You happen to get a bye. Like I did. I'm just saying, I got a bye.
No, I think I'm going to finish third.
Well, boys, winning isn't for everyone.
All right, Johnny, spin that wheel. Who's the loser last week, Martin?
What was that? Who came last week?
Yeah.
That'll be Pez.
Oh, can't even.
The one with the big mouth at the bottom there. So let's hope he gets all Giants players this week.
Well, let's hope Pez gets the better teams to help him out a little bit because, he's not so good at it.
Doesn't matter. Every time I make a dream team, they always end up flopping.
Well, that's a fair point. So, Kelly, you do me a favor. Can you mark down in the private chat who gets who? Because I've not got my spreadsheet open today.
Okay, so, yeah, I can do it.
The last time Pork was trusted to write things down. Remember what happened?
You want to do it in the Pez and Pork?
I've usually got my iPad here, but I'll just stick it in the private chat here and I'll copy it later on. Or try. I suppose I can always watch it later on and find out. So anyway, first up is Pez, and hopefully he gets the Giants.
Wow.
Oh, fucking hell, man.
Oh, this is a great pick to start the draft.
I
got Josh Downs.
Do the teams stay in the wheel again?
Yeah, they're staying on the wheel again, so you can get lots of the same team. It's more fun that way.
Jonathan Taylor.
So before we start, are we going if somebody's out, they don't get to change them, or do we get to change them? So Kelly can pick all the players and I are.
There's no way we're going to know a player is hurt.
Yeah, we've got to carry on changing them. I'm not having Pork fucking change 15 people this week just to get the top score.
But yeah, you know what I did? You know what? I'm going to draft the guys that I can change instead of just drafting them straight up. That's my plan.
I'll take Jonathan Taylor.
You know, of course, we should be able to change our guys if they're injured.
So
But
who's
on
the
the same team, of course.
It's your turn. Your turn, Martin.
All right.
Oh wait, Pez,
Come
who
on.
did you draft?
What the
Taylor?
Patriots?
Oh,
Go on. Oh.
Taylor.
Right. I am learning for last week. I'm taking Herbert.
Really?
Get the quarterback out the way.
You got Hubert out of the way. All right.
Against Tampa Bay. He's just
Why not?
it's just so frustrating. Look at his
It's time
numbers,
for
man.
Johnny to get someone like the Lions or,
That's not bad. They're not doing too bad.
Oh, there you go.
They are.
Yeah.
It's got to be feeling.
Who?
I'll go Chuba Hubbard.
Feeling.
No, I'm going Chuba Hubbard. I do like a bit of Chuba
All
Hubbard.
right.
Since he's come back 23.9 and 19 points.
Oh, you can go on. Feeling.
Feeling.
Or Bryce Young.
So, 10 targets, 11 targets since he's come back. 23 points and 19 points.
He doesn't want a Panther because they're playing his bloody Cowgirls this week.
1 minute.
I'm
Oh,
going
definitely
leg
go
it.
Feeling then.
Leg
I'm
it.
going leg it.
Oh, you need to leg it off this podcast.
I just can't go with any player you choose. You're in last place, Pez.
I'll
There
take
you go,
feeling.
Pork.
then.
Who you got to go now? You got the Greek. You got the Cardinals. Pork. Who you go for?
Jacobs, isn't it, against Seahawks? Shit defense.
No, I'm going Jalen Reed because he had 0 points last week. This week is his boom week.
What, to get picked off by Rick Wallen all day?
Yeah, all right, Johnny. I got Jalen Reed.
So
there.
my turn.
Yeah.
Oh, it was close.
Close to who?
Well, that's not bad. I would go
Course, it's
Nakua.
rigged.
Yeah, I'll go.
But you'll go Cup. I know you're going Cup.
I'm not really focusing on what teams. I just like the chaos. I just want everyone to get the Panthers now.
Johnny, who you
Puka
getting?
Nakua is a
I'll go
filthy
Puka
human
Nakua.
being.
I'll go
Nakua's got to
Puka.
be.
So
14 targets, 12 receptions, 162 yards, 41.8 points.
Martin.
Oh, come
You guys gotta
on.
stop talking over each other. I can't hear who the pick is. Come on now. Martin, who you getting? You got Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, Aaron Richardson.
Anthony Richardson.
Some
Well, you've
guy
got your quarterback
at
already.
tight end. No one knows.
I hate this. Oh, give me
Michael
Josh
Pittman.
Downs. Give me Josh Downs.
Anthony Richardson.
I would have
Sorry,
took my
okay.
quarterback.
I keep calling him Aaron Richardson for some reason. What the hell am I doing?
Super play shit.
Get back the cup. Get the Panthers.
Oh, I want the Panthers. Give me fucking feeling. I'll get him. Right.
Yeah.
This is me. You
I
take
know
your QB.
You better get this guy. If you don't, you're going to lose again.
Do you know what? We spoke about him today.
Yeah?
Give me Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh, that's a good call.
Can't believe you didn't take McBride. Tight
Give
end
me-
McBride.
Give me Marvin
You might still get him again.
Jr.
Oh,
the Seahawks. He's got the puddle checks.
Yucks.
Pez has got the puddle checks.
Oh,
Oh, you go Pez.
Ken Walker.
Who you go for?
Obviously, if Ken doesn't play, it's
I
that
love
job.
it. I love loyalty, Pez. I love loyalty more than
No.
anything else. More than
Man
football
Crush
knowledge.
Walker.
I love loyalty.
Man Crush Walker.
There you go, Martin. And you get the Patriots. Go on, Martin. That's when you got the Santa hat on.
Is this Martin?
Aye. What's
Can't
the...
go Drake May, so you got to go Ramondre.
Nah, give me... Let me see. Wait, who are they playing for? Let me just...
Hunter Henry.
Cardinal.
The Cardinals.
Give me Hunter Henry. Give me Hunter Henry.
Stevenson's going to go off.
Nah, I didn't like Stevenson,
My
Yeah, I've
turn.
never liked Stevenson either.
Solid against scored against tight end. Oh, Jaden Daniels, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, I'll take my quarterback.
I like it. You're going Daniels.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go for
it. Baker.
I'm going Evans.
Evans.
Oh,
now my wide
Chargers
receivers are all done. I have no flex. I can only do tight end, quarterback, or running back.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, there you go.
Do you know what? I should have
Travis Kelce or Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, come on.
Isaiah Pacheco. It's a tough choice.
Who are they playing?
Browns.
The rest.
I'm going.
The refs. the refs are on their side. What are you on about?
I'm going Kelly. Kelsey Kelly. Tied in Kelsey. I'll be damned if I'm going to be stuck with like tight end 3 someone. Hey, they got talent. You know, they got Irving, they got Mayfield, they got Otten.
Who have I got so far? I've got wide receiver, and
you've got Hubbard, you've got Nakua, and you've got Daniels.
I'll go K-Dot.
Whilst Johnny's thinking, I had a bet yesterday. Touchdown scorer from games. Oh,
wait. Johnny, who did you pick?
K-Dot.
Go ahead, Pez. What are you saying, buddy?
Oh, come on, man. Well, give me CD Lamb.
Panthers. They're playing the Panthers.
CD Lamb.
Yeah, that's what I've meant for you.
CD Lamb.
Well, what do I need now? A flex and a running back?
It's wonder because you've got your quarterback.
Martin has Herbert. Josh
You've got a flex and a running back.
Henry Hunter. And
flex and a running back, eh?
Yeah, flex and a running back.
What do I need? A quarterback and a tight end?
No, Cardinals again.
Trey McBride or you go for your quarterback?
Who, me?
It's you.
For fuck's sake. Do I stack?
Oh, yeah, that's how you win, Pez.
Kyler Murray, right? If Harrison's going to go off, Murray's going to go off.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I like that. That's what you call cojones.
So who do you need
so
a tight end?
What do I need now? Is that it?
Tight
and
end.
I'm done?
Yeah. Well, you might get them again. You could get Trey McBride.
Oh, maybe the ultimate.
Oh, Dalton Schultz.
Texans. Oh, this is awesome.
Dalton Schultz has been the worst tight end in the league, honestly. He can't even win anymore.
You gotta go Joe Mixon.
Do I have 2 more picks on it?
Oh, you got to go tight end. You got to go Kate Stover, man.
Well,
Kate Stover.
Right.
Or a sleeper tight end of the season from
Marvin
Harrison. Remember?
Ken Walker, Kyler Murray. So I've got a tight end and a flex. 2 flex, isn't it?
All right, who you do?
You
this is going to miss my spreadsheet.
Little rat was trying to get me there.
So you have 2 spots. You have a tight end and a flex, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, we're going again, boys. We're leaving the tight end to the very end. Oh, against Miami. Give me Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
RB heavy.
Yeah, go with Mixon on that one. He's mixing it up. All right. We got Martin. The Commandos. Daniels is gone.
Jericho.
Scary.
What do I need? A running back.
Robinson. How's Robinson looking with his injury?
I'll go Scary Terry.
Scary Terry. By the way, Johnny, I'm typing this in the Pez Pork Show chat.
I can put the private one too.
What is that? The Bears, Johnny?
Jerry Judy.
Jerry
Njoku.
Judy.
Or is that the Browns? That's the Browns.
That's the Browns, yeah.
I got
not
K.
the-
Dotton last time, so I'll go. That's the Browns. I'll go Jerry Judy.
Judy.
Super.
You
It's
skip
two
it.
tight ends.
All right. My last pick,
I know.
which will be a running back.
Tyrone Tracy.
Tyrone Tracy.
See, I've done the same as well, though. My last pick's going to be a running back and all. I didn't like how this
You know,
draft's
what
going.
type of oxymoron name is that, right? You got, hey, man, I'm Tyrone. Hey, man, I'm Tracy.
You got one more pick, Paul.
Yeah, his last pick is a quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, what could go wrong?
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. There you go.
Aaron Rodgers.
It's not overly that bad. He can still put
Alright.
points up.
Yeah, he had a good
'cause
week last week.
He won't let them run the ball into 1 yard out. So what do I need
17
to?
points.
I've
He's
got,
playing the Jags as well.
I'm happy we have Dak right now because I would hate to think Aaron Rodgers would ever be on my team.
well, I've got a flex.
Johnny he always plays this right every time. Last pick, he's always got like 10 players to pick for.
Martin, this is your pick, I believe.
It's my pick.
Well, how do you get 2 picks? You just picked Rodgers, right?
No, you
picked
picked
Rodgers. You
Rodgers.
needed a bloody quarterback.
Ah, jeez.
I'm gonna go Cortland Sutton. So now it's
Wait,
mine.
Right, boys, whatever. This is my running back. Whoever, whatever team this is.
Who's the Jets
Oh.
backup quarterback?
What?
Oh.
What was that for?
Johnny, who did you pick?
I picked
Oh,
Cortland Sutton.
Sutton.
so I am stuck.
Travis
With Travis
Etienne or
Etienne.
Bixby. Or
Who? Bigsby.
Nah, I'll go Etienne. I'll go Etienne.
He is on your bench.
You're going ETN?
Yeah. Oh, what a disaster, boys.
Oh, and look, Pez, with the number 1 pick, you get to make the last pick as well. Congratulations.
And what did you
Give me
what did you
George
need a
Kittle.
tight end?
By the way,
Give me
how
George
do
Kittle.
we determine the number 1 pick in this fantasy draft?
Whoever loses the last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Ah,
So you've got Dalton Kincaid at backup. You've got
Yeah,
what's his name?
Kincaid, he does fuck all. Anyway,
By the way,
Paul,
he's actually no. See,
this is a
I've
good
got,
shit. The Orkney
I've
ball
got him in-
means
I've
something.
got him in Orkney, and he actually scores pretty decently in Orkney scoring because he gets quite a
I
lot
think
of
it's on the
downs.
field.
wait.
Mm.
I want to know who is
I want to know when
the
you're going to make
Jets,
the playoffs.
who is the Jets' backup QB?
Tyrod Taylor.
All right, I'll go with Rodgers.
So are you going Dalton Kincaid or are you going to go
Kincaid.
Kincaid?
Yeah, Kincaid.
So if he doesn't
All
play,
right.
you'll change your tight end.
Yeah.
I
There you
think
go.
I
That's
hate
the
this
usual
team
comment.
more than I hated last week's team.
Rodgers goes off for 40 points.
Right. Before we go any further, while you were all yapping away and I was missing stuff, I thought I'd come up with a couple of nice little logos.
Okay. This is
And
the
the
best
next
I've
one.
seen thus far, Johnny. The best I've seen.
Oh, that's good.
What's
Oh,
going
that's,
on?
I like
I
that
think
one.
you saw
I like
it,
it.
okay.
I like it.
You need to change the Bears jersey, though.
Yeah, the pork
If you
needs
can.
to be one line. I'm not poor K.
It's
Yeah,
all
I'm
the
not
AI
scared.
stuff like, but I like.
Or
I
the first
did
one,
like that. I like that one.
if you could change
like-
my
What would you like
head
to add to it?
to a chick.
Yeah. Dr. Chick.
Change my head
Change-
to a like Seahawk or
Yeah,
something.
Dr. Chick.
God, you don't fucking ask much, do you? See, all I did it while you were chatting about the fact that you
Look at that.
See what
Look
I've
at
got
that
to put up
subtle
with,
brag.
Martin.
Subtle,
all
subtle
these
brag
little,
by Johnny
I
there.
want to
You
do
know,
this. Can you do this?
I
Can
just-
you do this?
I just threw it together in
3
2
fucking
minutes
kids, you
while
know.
you lot were chatting. Like, don't mind me, guys. You don't need much.
Folks like, Pez like, I really love it, but if you could just make these changes, that would be great.
Yeah, that's about right, Martin. You're right about that.
Derek, are you still here, Derek? I mean, my God. Derek is a dedicated fan if he is still here.
No, I think you lost him in the fact when you were talking about the rookies.
Yeah, probably.
I think he's probably working, so he'd be taking his lunch. But we'll go on to this one next.
The underdog pick of the week. No, sorry, one segment early. The Thursday night pick of the week. Rams versus Niners. I am going with the Rams on the road.
What's the scores, Johnny? I went the Packers, didn't I, to try and get the...
You did indeed.
Try and get the break.
Let's see. Scores on the doors. Thursday night. I'm sitting at 10. You're at 8. Pork's at 9. And Martin's at 6. I've also gone for the Rams. Are you going to go for the 49er to catch up? Or?
Yep. I'm going to play the dangerous game.
I'm going the Rams as well.
Oh, really? Yeah, they do look like a powerhouse in offense, and I don't know what the Niners have got left.
You come what I like about the Rams. See, when the Rams are playing well, they're just good to watch. Like they are. They're good
they are fun to watch.
But do you not think last night's game was a bit inflated because of that block punt return touchdown? Because if they never got that, they would have lost by 5 or 6.
Just because you brought it up, I was actually going to leave that till the end and Pork asks if there was anything else. But that special teams play for the block punt, you need to watch it because the guy's his name's Hummels, right? He's getting blocked. He pancakes the defender. The defender hasn't even hit the ground yet, so that he knows he's killed him. And then he changes, and then he pancakes his blocker, and then he blocks the punt as well. It's one of the best plays you'll see all season. I know it was on special teams, but honestly, you'll struggle to see a better play all season. He pancakes his blocker and then blocks the punt himself. It's unbelievable.
I love it. I love
special teams.
I love special teams.
Honestly, it's up there with play of the year. It was some play, man.
Well, I'm going with the Rams. Anyone else make a pick yet? Or
well, it's 3 Rams and a 49er. Pez is with the 49ers. Walk into a bar.
Wait, Johnny, who did you take?
The Rams.
And Martin?
I took the Rams as well.
Pez?
49ers.
Are you puking in your mouth right now?
Well, no, because it works out right for me because we've got 2 games on the Niners. We've got 1 game on the Rams. So if we lose to the Packers, the Rams catch us.
I got it. I love it.
Yeah?
I love it. I would do it the same way, man. I would do it the same way. I love picks like that. All right. We got the Rams. 3 of us. Johnny, myself, and Martin are choosing the Rams. And Pez is, Dr. Puddle Chick is taking the Niners because they have a 1-game advantage, or the Seahawks have a 1-game
disadvantage.
Yeah. All right. Lock of the week. All right. My lock of the week, I will go first again. I'm taking the Bengals over
so am I.
The Titans.
Oh, because locking the Bengals never goes wrong.
Someone's been in the spreadsheet.
I was going to go the
what are the can you tell us the records so far?
For the lock of the week, I'm on 12. Pez is on 11. You're on 9. Martin's catching up on 7, and he's had less picks than you.
And wait, what about the underdogs? What was the scores on the? We haven't done underdogs.
We'll get to the underdogs next, but this is the lock of the week. So I've also
gone
for the Bengals.
I'll look at the spreadsheet. It's fine. Ignore me. Don't
shout
at me, please.
No, you got that one right too. So actually, me and you are both on 12 because you had the Seahawks, the Puddle Chicks. I hadn't changed that one
Never in
So
doubt.
we're both on 12.
I love it.
Everybody got the lock right last night. You had the Seahawks, Pork had the Steelers, I had the Saints, and Martin had the Bucks. So I think it's the first time.
Well
for
done,
everyone for a
Drew.
long
Well
time.
done. That's what I like to see.
And people would like to say that we don't know what we're talking about, when in fact we do.
It's the first time since week 7 we've all got the right ones.
You know, people
So there you
say
go.
I sizzle for a reason.
Just a sidebar, just a quick sidebar to do with Orkney and the playoffs starting next week. If you don't have a bye week and you're playing a team with a Ravens player in, set your line up, don't look at it again, and just pray to God your player gets injured. Because they're playing the Giants, and Lamar Jackson's going to destroy them single-handedly, fucking annihilate them. So if you're facing a Ravens player next week, I feel sorry for you. Just a little side.
Some did about next. All the playoffs are on next. Plus, it's the Carabao playoffs and also the playoffs for the Ring of Broadcast Shield, which is for the lower divisions. So if you're on a bye week, still pick your team.
Well, since you mentioned the Ravens, that is my lock. So
I was going to do that, but they're minus 15 or something like that. And I got a row for minus 10. So there you go. So Martin's going for the Ravens.
All right.
So who you going for, Pez?
I was too busy looking. I got distracted. I'm sorry about that.
I'm going to buzz if the Titans beat the Bungles.
Are you wearing a fucking Gators hat?
How did it take you this long?
You motherfucker. I thought you were going to be like buddy. You were going to be Hog fans together.
It's only taken about an hour. It's not too bad.
Oh my gosh. Pez, I've lost all respect, man.
Oh, God, you crack me up, man.
Give me the Chiefs.
All right. Lock of the week, the Chiefs. You're going out on a limb there, Pez.
They're only +6. They're only -6, sorry. It's better than -15.
Yeah. I think everyone's going to like my underdog of the week. I'm going for the hat trick. Underdog of the week? All right. I'm going to make it a hat trick. And I am going to do my pick first in all three today. I am taking the Bills on the road at +3 over the Detroit Lions. Now, the Cowboys are a 1.5 underdog if someone wants to take the Cowboys over the Panthers. 1.5.
And the Panthers.
I've got Panthers as my underdog. I didn't even check the odds. Are the Panthers' favourite?
Yeah,
they're the
Panthers are favorites.
Oh, well, I need to get an underdog now, for God's sake.
Well, that changed because last night they weren't the favourites.
This is according to the Pez and Pork Against the Spread app.
I've got it.
Yeah, but last night when I checked them and I did all the thing, they weren't favourite. They were underdogs. So something's changed.
Yeah.
Because I had them too.
Well, no, yeah, because on my app, the game opened with Carolina +5.5.
Yeah, that's why I picked the Panthers.
Yeah.
Now, I'm looking at. So they are. The Panthers are the favourites now.
Yeah.
They weren't last night.
Oh, well, I need to get a new underdog now.
So do I, because I was going to go Chargers too.
Right. Well, I'm going to pick the Rams. Cover both ends on the Thursday night game.
Oh my gosh!
Well, you're going to win one of them.
I was Rams. I was going to do. Then I went Panthers. So I'll go the Rams too.
Right. Well, you know what?
Go and find something else. Get off my selection.
No.
I'm going to go for the Titans.
Oh, against my lock.
Yeah, I'll go. Come on, the Titans.
Johnny, before we move on, what's the overall record here?
Oh, mine's is terrible when he.
Did the Chargers lost last night, didn't they? So Pork is sitting on 8, Pez is on 7, and I'm on 6, and Martin's on 2.
So we all lost last week on the underdog then.
No, Pez got the Jaguars.
Okay. Good
Pez
job,
had a good week.
Pez had a good week last week.
I think he's got like he's showing the darn pits. I'm not too sure what he's up to. Like, you know what I mean? You got more hair on your chin than your armpits.
I'm just airing him out. Just airing him out.
I wonder what the smell was. Bloody hell, man.
That's the smell of
going for the Packers. No one got lock of the week. Packers, underdogs, Seahawks.
There's a few interesting ones.
The Seahawks favorite.
I think taking 14 points. Yeah. 14 points with the Giants. That's a lot of points to give.
Yeah, but we don't take the points in the scores. It's just
I know.
But it's going to be about 30 points, so 14 points is probably not even enough.
On an actual bet, the plus 14.5 on the Giants, the plus 6 on the Browns.
Plus 3 on the Bills, man. I mean, seriously.
Actually, tell you what, Pez, I will go for the Dolphins. There you go. So I won't have the same as you.
Dolphins
against the Texans.
Yeah,
the Dolphins have got a chance.
I think the Dolphins win it. I'm with you. I would take that. I was thinking about that one. I like it.
Yeah, because the Seahawks line started at -1. Well, Seahawks were +1, and then after winning a game and the Packers losing, it's gone up to +2.5. It was a bit of a random fucking sway.
Wow.
Yep.
Who would have thought if the Seahawks beat the Packers and Seahawks would have the same record? Who would have thought that after, 14 weeks? 15 weeks?
Well, who would have thought it after we lost like 4 straight?
Yeah.
Pork, how does it make you feel that you're underdog to the Panthers? That's an embarrassment. I mean,
how does it feel to only have 2 Super Bowls? I mean, I wouldn't even know what that felt like.
It's like the
in the 70s.
You've got to question.
For the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl, you could see and you had hair.
Jesus Christ!
Be awesome. Oh man, that's pretty low.
You know what? I would like to know the last time that the Giants won 12 games. Or the Seahawks won 12 games.
Yeah, did he be dragging me and slagging you off?
The Seahawks or Giants won 12 games in back-to-back seasons.
When did the Cowboys do it?
The last 2 years prior to this.
Bollocks. How did you do in the playoffs?
Well, how did the Seahawks, Giants, or Ravens do in the playoffs last year?
The last time Seahawks went back-to-back 12-win seasons, they went to the Super Bowl both years.
Yeah,
Haley,
how did they do? I guess somebody should have ran the ball.
Haley, don't be dragging. Well, everybody should that, like, but yeah. Don't be dragging me into this conversation. I'm not the one slagging up you here. Or lack of it.
Yeah. I'm like, where's Johnny? Johnny's won 2. In the last 15 years. He's got the catch. That helmet catch. Taking down the 17-0 or 16 what was it?
17-0.
17-0 Patriots, right?
Yeah.
I loved it.
I'm just looking at these lines going forward, right? And they're so weird. Like the Packers, I understand why we're underdogs. The Vikings, you'd think we're underdogs, but we're favourite by 2.5 minus by 2.5.
Wait, are you home?
Yeah, we're home both games. So you'd think we'd be underdogs against the Packers and the Vikings. Then we go to the Bears and we're -3.5 at the moment. Sorry, we're +3.5. It's like, how the fuck does that
change? These are early betting lines to push people.
Yeah, because remember, last night the Panthers were not favourites, and now they are. So that will change
when people start betting, these lines are going to change.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think by the time the game comes, I think the Panthers will be the underdog by the time the game comes.
Yeah, I am sure of it. But so that's the reason why, taking the Cowboys now would be a great bet if you're a bettor.
It's a reactionary line because the Panthers have played the Eagles close. If the Cowboys win or play the Bengals close, the line will then flip again. But we know the Cowgirls aren't going to do that. Don't we, Port?
Well, according to Port's goal prediction, which will be the next one, they might do.
All right. So let's get on to it. I forgot we got bold prediction.
Bold prediction of the week!
So before we start, I'll go through last week's bold predictions. So last week, Martin went for Michael Penix to throw a touchdown. Pork had Mac Jones to throw for 3 touchdowns. We did throw 2 interceptions, but no touchdowns. Walker to break 40-plus rushing touchdown to score 100 yards, rushing 2 touchdowns. Unfortunately, the poor boy didn't play.
But I did say,
swapping it out.
One minute, I did say, like the fantasy draft, if Ken doesn't play, I get Zach Charbonnet instead.
No, you did not say that last week's show, so shut up. I
you must
have
have
300 yards rushing between the Packers and the Lions and 80 points scored. I'll just mute you in a minute, so shut up. So that's 210 yards and 65 points scored. So none of us got the hangry. And of course, Pork is going for tonight's one, and he's going for Cooper Rush to throw 4 touchdowns against the Bungles. So this is your one for this week. Or do you
I'll go with it. And hey, I'll be right back. Give me 30 seconds.
Well, I'll go for mine because I've already got mine written down. So I'm going to go, there'll be 7 rushing touchdowns in the Bills-Lions game this week.
Oh, well, Johnny, I've went for the opposite of you, so I'll say mine now. I've said the Lions shut down the run game, so the Bills will have less than 100 yards rushing.
Jesus, that's spicy.
Yeah, but they can still have 7. There can still be 7 rushing touchdowns in the game if they're running for 5 yards.
Yeah, I suppose, but
so they can both get it right.
That's
a good one.
Mine is, this is the week where DK Metcalf goes for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Everyone gets overexcited and kills the playoffs.
What's been happening with DK anyway? Because I really like seeing fantasy drafts. Like, I thought he was such good value where he was going. And he started off the season pretty decently. It was like, everyone was like, oh, that was a great pick. And then he's just kind of been quiet for a few weeks now.
Because him and Gino do the same thing every year with each other. I swear they have a mid-season bust-up because they start off really strong, then DK disappears, and then at the back end of the year, he starts heating back up again and he starts getting hyper-targeted. But this year, it's just the emergence of Jackson. Like, that kid is just fucking sensational. Like,
I can't believe he's been really good.
The way he gets himself open is exactly what you wanted coming out of college. Like, you don't watch a lot of college, but you just put Jackson Smith-Njigba at Ohio State highlights, and it will come up straight away with his Rose Bowl game. You watch that Rose Bowl game, and he's just a phenomenal wide receiver.
It makes you wonder.
The year he was coming out in the draft last year, Garrett Wilson did an interview with him, and he said that he was the best one out of a lot of them. Him, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, they all said Marvin Harrison was number 1, right?
No, they said Jackson Smith-Njigba wasn't number 1. Marv, obviously.
Oh, is this puddle chick,
That's what they said. That's what they said. He's the best one, and he is, Paul.
Wait. Who's they? Seahawk fans?
No, the wide receivers from Ohio
when he was
State.
At college.
Moron.
I tell you what's going to happen again.
Wait. We're not using names like moron around here. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Yeah, come on now. Puddle.
All right, edit it out. We'll use something more polite.
Numpty. You know the what numpty is.
Things like you fucking dumbass works a lot better.
That's not going to hurt anyone's feelings.
That Shane Waldron's never going to get another OC job ever again, no way.
No. He needs to go back and just what was before he came to us? I think he was like the Rams O-line coach or tight end coach. Just go back and do that, mate. Just go and hide somewhere.
All right, guys. This has become one of my highlights of the week. I love it when the four of us to get together. And again, Martin, I will extend out and vote that if you're a permanent member of our family, I'm all for it. I love it when you're here. You have that nice, gentle nurse's touch that we kind of need.
Well, I try and jump on whenever I can. It's just a bit awkward for timing right now. Just with stuff I've got going on, but whenever I'm available, I'll give Johnny a message.
And I love the analysis that you have that compares and contrasts to Pez, because you know me, I like him. Why? His name is fucking cool. His name is Hank Bigsby.
There is just one last thing that I wanted to add, and it's just a special shout out to John O. Smith, who at the end of regulation had a total of 0 fantasy points. And by the end of the extra time, he finished with 17.5 fantasy points. He got 3 receptions and a touchdown.
Do you know,
nice
to win the game.
I was saying to my mate who was in bar with watching Red Zone, he's in the Orkney as well, and I said, there's some bastard out there who's been crying at their team because of John O. Smith, and he's literally just changed so many people's outcomes just out of that thing alone. Brilliant.
I love players like John O. and like Puka last year. How many players won championships because of Puka last year? It's amazing. I love it. And the San Francisco 49ers backfield. I mean, Jesus.
That's always a mess, but it seemed to be a bigger mess this year.
Every year, their running backs get hurt. Every single year. I don't know what they do. Johnny, you have any closing comments?
No, we'll see you next week. What I'll do though, Martin, even if you're not on this show, we'll keep your spot in the fantasy, and we'll keep you can pick your players when you watch it, and you can let us know who you want.
We'll send a message to you. Maybe we should add him to the Pez Pork Show group chat and give him a minor headline there in our lead, our title.
I'll try and squeeze it on Nurse Martin in there somewhere.
You have your shows. I'm happy being like the special guest, because I didn't want to let folk doing, because like I'm honest, my life's a bit complicated at the moment. But like I say, whenever I'm available, I will always jump on. I'll message.
Excellent.
I will message.
I love it. Well, maybe
we'll keep you part of the fantasy draft, so we'll have your list ready for you, and you can let us know. Because it's more fun. Well, make sure you get like 5 Giants players and maybe Patriot. I'll edit it in.
All right. Dr. Gator, Ez. Thinking Gator Trader.
Always a pleasure.
Any closing comments?
John. No, I think I'm all talked out, mate.
All right. I would like to remind everyone to please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It always does help us. And, Johnny doesn't do this for free.
Oh, and if I'm not on the show again, Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a great Christmas if I do see you again this year for the show.
Yeah,
you'll get your Christmas present next week, Martin, when the Giants play the Ravens.
And we might have a special guest that is a bit sour next week.
Ooh, that's exciting.
And it might be our last show of the year, because I doubt I'm going to be available for the week after Christmas, but we'll have to see, because I think I will be on the beach.
Oh.
I know the Monday before Christmas, I will be on the beach. The Monday after Christmas is like New Year's Eve or something like that. So I'm not
you're
sure.
going to be sober for that. Not a chance.
So
You're not going to be sober for that one. Not a flipping chance. Like.
I don't think we're going to have a show on the Monday. Let's see. I can just tell you now what it is. The 23rd of December.
I
will
won't
be on the beach.
I can't do the 23rd and I can't do the 30th because that's my son's and my daughter's birthday, so we're going to be out for lunch.
So next week will be the last show of the week of the year, and maybe we will have a special sour guest as our special guest. And
well, hopefully we'll have a sour guest and a Santa guest as well. I'll be my next week. So
I like it. I love it.
We will still do a fantasy draft, so.
Oh, Johnny.
That would be a great segment. Santa giving out his fantasy gifts of the year.
Johnny, if the Seahawks beat the Packers, just don't say anything to Craig, but say, do you fancy coming on the Pez Pork Show on Monday? You need a spot.
Well, I'll
I don't know how that show will go.
You'll be working.
Yeah, well, let's just get him in there whilst he's working. It's only so I can laugh at him. He can leave after about 5 minutes of beratement. If they win, though, then just leave him. He's got work.
His life is complicated right now. His Ravens are a fucking fraud. Have you not heard
not Martin. Crazy. I want the Packers fan in here when the Seahawks beat them.
Craig! Oh, yes, we should have Craig back.
Well, then, Pez, you could always sneakily turn up in the Round the Orkney Bowl with the Saturday after.
Well, this is it because you don't do it on Tuesday anymore. It's Saturday.
No, we do it Saturday because it's easier for Craig.
It's hard.
What time on the Saturday?
It's usually half 9.
On the Saturday?
9:30.
Right. Do you know what? We'll do that because then he'll have time to digest it and get over it, and then I will appear. I will make it just an appearance. I just want to laugh at him.
And you can pop in about 10 minutes after the show starts, and it'll just pop up, and it'll be a complete surprise.
No, you should do it when it's on his division, where he's talking about how his team's lost, so he's already down in the dumps, and then Jesus comes in and finishes him.
Who doesn't love a puddle chick special guest?
Yeah, because it'll not be this Saturday, it'll be next Saturday, because it'll be after the play. It will be the
you'll get knocked out the playoffs. I'll be even better.
So, you could be knocked out the playoffs.
Hey, if the Seahawks.
You do realise we're actually still live. You might be watching this.
Let's close the show.
Maybe end the stream.
Wait. If the Seahawks beat the Packers, you got to call them the season Packers.
Right. Moldy cheese.
You know that somebody is.
Yeah.
So if anybody watches this, don't put it in the Orkney Bowl chat.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a surprise for Craig.
But then, it'll be an early Christmas present for him.
It'll be a Christmas present. Oh, and his birthday's on the 23rd. I think it is.
That is the Saturday. No, it isn't. That's the.
I will be on the
Monday.
It'll just be like doing the show, and all you hear is like Stone Cold Steve Austin's intro music, and it's just Pez.
Smashing beer cans together.
All right, guys. For Johnny in the production booth, for our special guest that we love, Nurse Martin. And, of course, the one and only Dr. Pez. Thank you for being here. I am Pork. We'll sizzle later. Good.
See you later.
See you later.